Point-slope form of a line. So if you're given a point and a slope, you can write the equation of a line in something that we call point-slope form. I know, very creative. So the first thing that I always want you guys to do is make sure you label your given point x1 and y1. And those subscripts are very important. So remember to always use those. And then, of course, our slope is still going to be the variable m that we've traditionally used when we're in slope-intercept form. So point-slope form of a line is just the equation y minus y1 equals m, which of course is still our slope, times x minus x1. And again, I hope that you can recognize that we have our x1 and y1 values being subtracted. It does matter the order in which you place these, right? It has to be y and then subtract your y1. It has to be x and then minus your x1 value. Okay, so if I were you, I would encourage you as you write these notes down to use your highlighter and just make sure that you're paying attention to the fact that your x1 variable is always second in your parentheses. Your y1 variable is always second on this side of our equation. And then, of course, your slope value is always placed right here in front of your parentheses. Okay, that's what we did in class anyway. All right, so let's do a couple of examples. If I give you the point 4, 1 and a slope of 2, again, the first thing I want you to do is label your point. So we've got x1 and we have y1. And of course, our slope is always going to be m. Now, I have you guys in class rewrite your formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 in parentheses. The more that you write this, the better off you're going to be. The more that you are likely to remember what this formula is, even if you get it on your STAR test or whatever state test you guys might be taking. Okay, so let's substitute in our values. I start with y minus, and then I have my y1 value is 1. So y minus 1 equals, and then our slope is a positive 2, and then we have parentheses, x minus, and then our x1 value is a 4. Okay, so we are subtracting our x value and our y value. All right, and that's it. That's literally point-slope form. That's all we've got to do. You can go ahead and leave your answer just like this, or you can simplify it into slope-intercept form, and we'll do that in a later video. All right, let's do another one. Point-slope form. So anytime you're given a point and a slope, just think, oh yeah, I know point-slope form. So let's label x1, y1 represents our point, and then of course our m value is our slope. So write the formula again, y minus y1 equals m, parentheses, x minus x1. We're trying to get that stuck in our brain so that we always remember it. So we have y minus. Our y1 value is a negative 3. And yes, I know that looks goofy right now, but I want you to put your double negative there. Equals, then our slope is a negative 1. Parentheses or times x minus, and then our x1 value is a 7. Now let's simplify this because hopefully you remember from pre-algebra, when you're subtracting a negative or when you're getting rid of negative values, you're essentially adding something. So anytime you see a double negative or minus a negative, I want you to turn it into a positive. So this is y plus 3 equals. And then again, anytime that you're multiplying by the number 1, it doesn't change anything. So this understood 1 is not necessary. But what is necessary is the negative value. So you're going to go ahead and make sure that you write the negative and then parentheses x minus 7. And that's the reduced point slope formula that you would probably see in a textbook or on a test. Okay, this answer right here. Now I want you to pay attention to the fact that this x1 is positive 7. So when it gets substituted into our equation, it always says x minus 7. Okay, this y1 term is a negative 3, but when we sub it in, it simplifies down to y plus 3. The signs appear to be opposite because remember, we're subtracting whatever value is we're subbing in. All right, let's do one more. I know how much you guys love fractions. So again, we have a point and a slope. So let's label x1, y1, and our slope is just our m value. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then sub in your values. So let's see if you can think about this for a minute. If I have y minus my y1 value is a negative 1. So when I subtract a negative 1, what does this actually turn into? A plus 1 equals our slope is 3/4 times x minus, now let's look at our x1 term. It's a negative 8. So if I'm subtracting a negative 8, that really turns into plus 8. And if you would like to continue to write out your double negatives like we did in the last problem, and then simplify, you're more than welcome to until you get the hang of it. If you feel like you're already ready for that, you can go ahead and change them immediately as you substitute them into your equation. Just be careful. The x value, the x1 value, and the y1 value will always have the opposite sign once it's been plugged into your equation. And that's it. That's how you write an equation in point slope form.